6:46 today marks 23 years since the terror attacks of 9/11, when nearly 3,000 people were killed as hijacked planes hit the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and crashed in Pennsylvania.
Well, there will be several remembrance ceremonies all happening throughout our region today. One of those at Highland Park. Aran Spitzer is live there from the War on Terror Memorial with a preview. Aran.
Yeah, guys, it's hard to believe that it's been 23 years since the horror that was September 11th, 2001. Now, in just a few hours, elected officials, veterans, and others impacted by 9/11 will be here for the VOC's Operation We Remember ceremony. The folks over at the Veterans Outreach Center say after the terror attack, many felt the call to enlist in the military. The VOC's Director of Programs, Lonnie Wellman, says this is personal to so many, from those who lost someone that day to the families that saw loved ones leave to fight for our country, never make it home.
It still is something that everybody has memories of experiencing when they first saw the first plane hit, and then the second, and then feeling that loss. And if you had family members in those areas who were flying, even if you weren't in those major areas, we all kind of felt that impact of what's going on. It was a very surreal, I'd use the word weird time, in that nobody knew, there was not precedent for this, and everybody kind of leaned on each other to move forward and find our new normal.
Wellman says that the VOC is there for any service member who needs support. That ceremony happening here this morning at Highland Park at 10:30. Reporting from Rochester, Aran Spitzer, News 8.
All right, thank you, Aran. And there will be more organizations in the Rochester area, all planning to hold memorials, ceremonies, and events honoring those civilians and first responders lost or suffering as a result of the attacks. Brockport Fire is hosting its annual Never Forget Vigil. That starts at 8:30. Then RIT's commemoration ceremony. That starts at 8:46 in front of the Sentinel on campus. And also 150 flags will be on display on the grounds of Our Lady of Mercy School from this morning through September 14th. All of this information on rochesterfirst.com.
This morning, President Biden and other dignitaries will be at Ground Zero in New York, as families there will gather at the site, remembering the close to 3,000 people killed in Lower Manhattan, the Pentagon, and those on Flight 93 that was taken down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. We'll have more coverage throughout Sunrise and on News 8 at noon. 6:50 is the time. Your Sunrise traffic updates here early on this Wednesday. Traffic really starting to pick up there, coming in and out of downtown on 490, but we don't have any major slowdowns reported or congestion yet on the expressways. We will check that again during CBS Mornings when we see you at 7:25. We do have a traffic note for drivers this week in Rochester. Just keep in mind, West Main between Genesee and Madison will see some work being done that will bring lane shifts and parking restrictions. The work starts tomorrow. It runs about a week and a half through next Friday. Drivers will see delays, and you're encouraged to find a different route if possible. News 8, your local election headquarters just had the first, possibly only, presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris as they hit on a range of topics from abortion to inflation, fracking, and border security.
Well, Trump slammed the Biden-Harris administration for failing to deliver on student loan forgiveness. Meanwhile, Harris went after Trump over his criminal conviction and other pending cases.
A new update this morning. The roads are clear after a semi hit a construction vehicle, then flipped over on the westbound lanes of the thruway in Henrietta.
This was a scary scene last night around 7:30. Here's some of the photos where the Henrietta Fire District tells News 8 the tractor trailer had actually hit a passenger vehicle first, then hit a wheeled excavator, that construction vehicle doing work on the thruway. It also took down 100 feet of guardrail before rolling over here and off 90 down a hill. The driver of the excavator has some minor injuries. The other drivers involved were not hurt. The right lane and the shoulder were closed down for some time while authorities tried moving the semi. That's actually now reopened.
Police in Ogden have formally identified the driver killed in a crash Friday night. That victim, 29-year-old Jillian Bransford from Greece. She was an English language arts teacher at Greece Olympia. She was killed in this crash on Manitou Road at Big Ridge Road when a dump truck ended up on top of her car last week.
Canandaigua police have arrested the woman suspected of stabbing a man who had to be airlifted to the hospital for his injuries. Officers tell us that around 1:40 yesterday afternoon, they responded to Camelot Drive, where they found a 60-year-old man stabbed in the chest, reportedly by this 66-year-old suspect, now identified as Colestine Reeves. Police tell us the two were in a domestic relationship and that the man was stabbed while he was visiting Reeves' apartment. The man suffered from a collapsed lung. He was able to move to another apartment for safety before he was rushed to the hospital. Reeves now charged with first-degree assault.
Rochester police have arrested a teen in connection to a murder case from late last month. 17-year-old Rafael Marquez is accused of killing James Jackson Jr. Police say the 30th of August, Jackson was found shot multiple times inside his crashed car. He died at the hospital. This was on Cuba Place. Police tell us Marquez was caught Monday during a chase on North Clinton Avenue. He's charged with second-degree murder.
Brighton police have a warning for folks about an online financial scam using photos potentially of your homes. Here's how it works. Well, the scammers send emails to those unsuspecting victims claiming to have captured inappropriate video or pictures of them along with an image of their home attached to the email, seemingly to try and make it look real. The perpetrators then threaten to release these photos and videos unless the victims send them money or Bitcoin. Again, this is a scam, and do not respond to any of those emails. Of course, also never send anyone money.
Hearing concerns from parents in East Rochester worried about this ongoing sidewalk construction project off Garfield Street.
The parents tell us the work is affecting the way their kids get to school. Many of these parents claim that they were given very little notice and that the change in the traffic patterns has put some of their children walking to and from school in danger. We spoke with the town administrator on the need for the construction project and also why it needs to be done. Well, the administrator says the construction is nearly done. He further says that if you need information about this construction, any other road closures, or town information, just download the app, ER Connect.
Downtown East Main and Gibbs Streets in Rochester now one Fringe place for another year as we're heading into what is night 2 of the annual Fringe Festival. They've got so much going on. Comedy shows, musical headliners, 12 days, some 650 performances. Since the debut in 2012, it's one of nearly 250 of its kind worldwide, also one of the biggest in the country. Organizers say the reason behind Fringe is to give platforms to artists across disciplines.
I think one of the really special things about it is that a lot of people are telling stories that they are some of the only people that can really share the perspective that they have. And you're seeing all of these people really practicing their skill of relating to people and sharing their story with people that may not find themselves in that position, but who can relate because of kind of those shared human experiences.
We've got more with the lineup at rochesterfirst.com.
Well, several rising stars and veteran musicians are hosting a Sisters in Jazz weekend. The Eastman School of Music partnering with the new George Walker Center for Equity and Inclusion to host this 2-day event. That will be September 20th and 21st. One of the workshop leaders and organizers is a Grammy Award-winning jazz vocalist, Sarah Gazarek. Now, Eastman recruited her to Rochester a year ago, designing its new vocal jazz degree program. We sat in on this inaugural class where that instructor and others were hoping to attract more young women to a field that had been traditionally dominated by men.
We're starting to see more female instrumentalists, more female academics. Eastman just hired their very first full-time tenure-track female instructor in Christine Jensen, who heads up the Sisters in Jazz program that we're so excited about.
Very exciting indeed. Gazarek and Christine Jensen will be among those teaching improvisation and other skills during a day of free workshops. The weekend also includes performances by bassist and composer Dia Owens and other accomplished artists as well. We've got more details available for you on rochesterfirst.com.
It's a little ways off, but James, we'll see if we can make it all the way there without any rain between now and then.
It looks good for now.
I'm telling you, it just lasts day after day after day. You get these blocking patterns, and we're on the right side of the blocking pattern with all that sunshine that lasts at least through this end of this week into this weekend. This weekend, I'm sure there are some weddings going on, and you just don't know what's going to happen. But guess what? You lucked out. Congratulations. You've got you hit the lotto with this one. Lower 80s with that sunshine. And as of right now, yes, it does carry into next week with no rain.
All right.
I love that.
Thank you, James. Thank you for watching us here at Sunrise. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes.
Have a great day.
News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.